But I'll say this, no president has put the United States, and you've heard us say this many times, in a stronger position to outcompete China than President Biden. And managing, and I think she has said this too in her interviews, managing that intense competition requires intense diplomacy.
Good, good. Yeah, I'm sure we're doing well against China. Joining me now, Chad Robichaux, Marine, founder of the Mighty Oaks Foundation, also author of the book, Saving Aziz. Chad, this new report out from the Wall Street Journal, it's not even surprising. I read it. I'm sure I had the same reaction you did. Yeah, that sounds about right. Chinese nationals have tried to infiltrate over 100 DOD different facilities. We have Chinese spy balloons here. God only knows how many assets they currently have in our military and intelligence community. Are they just eating our lunch intelligence-wise?
They are. I mean, one, economically, and then around the world, their strategic locations around the world. I mean, we forfeited Afghanistan. We forfeited the most strategic place in the globe between Iraq, Iran, Russia, and China. And anybody that doesn't believe that President Biden gave that to China is out of their mind. I mean, this is, and then you got this our southern border. You have military-age males coming across the southern border without any women or children, just walk across the southern border in our country. I mean, this isn't politics. Everybody keeps putting this as politics. This is national security, and people need to put their politics aside and really realize what's happening here.
Chad, talk about giving Afghanistan to China. For those who don't understand, what are you talking about?
Yeah, well, I mean, the American public had been sold this lie that we were in an endless war, 20-year war. We had to leave. We had to get American sons and daughters home because they were dying. That was so untrue. I mean, look, we have military contingents all over the world. We had at one point in President Trump's term, he had 2,500 troops there. During the evacuation, we had 4,000 troops there. I can name 12 places right now around the world that we have between 2,500 and 4,000 troops. Since World War II in Japan, we still have 80,000 troops. Since World War II in Germany, we still have 40,000 troops. We have 35,000 troops in South Korea since the Korean War, keeping North Korea from coming across the 38th parallel. It's strategically important to the United States national security and to the world that America has these contingents around the world, not to stay in war, but to prevent wars. And President Biden's generals, his intelligence leaders, his 12 diplomats on the ground that sent the descent cable from Afghanistan, which they tried to hide from us, only up with Congress forcing them by subpoena and by holding Secretary Blinken in contempt, did we find out about these descent cables. All of them advised the president the same thing. Do not withdraw from Afghanistan, especially in this way. He chose to do it anyway, forfeit Afghanistan, sold out our allies, made the world a much more dangerous place, killed Americans, left behind Americans, had our allies killed. But most importantly, he left the strategic location of Afghanistan, again, between Iraq, Iran, Russia, and China, and handed it over to our enemies. And now China has Bagram Air Force Base, which we know they occupied it, $85 billion in equipment, the trillions of dollars in mineral rights and in the lithium from the Hindu Kush and Himalayan mountains, as well as being able to buy sanctioned oil from Iran and move it across Afghanistan. China wanted us out of there, and President Biden accommodated.
Talk about leaving our allies behind to die. Who do we leave behind?
We had 80,000 Afghan warriors, our wartime allies, who fought behind us, but who fought beside us for 20 years. Those like Aziz in my book, Saving Aziz, who I did 8 deployments with, saved my life on the battlefield multiple times. He was awarded from Congress for saving the lives of 4 Navy SEALs on a recovery operation that we did. These guys, fought, bled, and died alongside of us for 20 years. And we made them a promise. So this isn't even an opinion. We made them a promise that if they served and filled the contract with us, they would not leave them behind, that they'd have a path to citizenship through the SIV program from 2009. We not only failed in that promise, but when we left Afghanistan, we abandoned our allies and left them there. And they're being systematically hunted down by the Taliban right now and being slaughtered for their service to America. And, it's while as tragic as it is that we would do that to them as a nation, what's more tragic is the fact that the world knows it, the world's seen it, and would never be able to believe us again when we have future wars where we need local nationals on the ground, that we as a country don't keep our word.
Speaking of other nations, we have sensitive documents from the Biden administration. They keep showing up in the freaking newspapers in Iran. How compromised is the federal government? My goodness, Chad.
Yeah, some of this stuff is you can't even make it up. Like I mean, the fact that classified material is showing up in public forums around the world is I don't even know what to make of it, because you would think that a president that's been exposed to having a false emails, sending emails as a vice president of the United States from alias email addresses to foreign governments, clearly selling access to our enemies. You think they would? I mean, the next day, someone would be in handcuffs. The fact that this is prolonging and we're talking about maybe it will impeachment, this is insane. We are in such a, I know people keep throwing around the word banana republic right now, but I don't know another way to describe it. This is stuff that people don't get away with in places like Afghanistan.
So true. Chad, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Good to see you, Jesse.
I have great news. If you enjoyed that, I have a YouTube channel you can subscribe to. Whatever I do, it'll be right there on YouTube. So go subscribe today.